I like to quip that this is an original song. It's on the new record. But I like to quip this is a song that John Prine wrote about 3 weeks after he died. There we go. It's lonesome here in heaven. I'm missing all my friends. The streets are full of strangers with halos round their head. I really don't mind dying, but I do mind being dead. It's lonesome here in heaven, and it's messing with my head. It's lonesome here in heaven. They got all kinds of rules, like you got to love your neighbor even when he's being a fool. And every day is Sunday, there ain't no Saturday night. It's lonesome here in heaven underneath the guiding light. I went to see St. Peter down by the pearly gates. I said, "Excuse me, mister, there must be some mistake." He pulls out the big book. Sure enough, there's my name. It's lonesome here in heaven, and I don't know how I came. No cussing, no card games, no reefer, no way. Ain't no easy women out beyond the Milky Way. No liquor, no hangover, there ain't no hell to pay. You wake up in the morning, that's as good as you feel all day. You know the trouble with forever? It just takes too much time. And all I get for dinner is some wafers and some wine. And there's always somebody singing down by the riverside. Only they don't know the good songs, just in the sweet by and by. By and by and by. When I think of old Hank Williams, it always makes me cry. Just like old Hank Williams, I'm so lonesome I could die. Since I'm dead already, you have to wonder why. It's lonesome here in heaven, lonesome here in heaven. I'm so lonesome here in heaven, I could lay right down and die. Okay. This is simply called Water. If I could be water, a little more like water, if I could flow like water, I could get where I'm going. I wouldn't have to worry. I wouldn't have to hurry. No struggle, no trouble. I just know what I'm knowing. I'd be gentle, I'd be strong. A placid pool, a river long. I would fill the mighty ocean with my last measure of devotion. If I was your brother, your sister, your mother, would you take me for granted? Would you treat me unkind? If I was your family, even though you don't know me, would you still forsake me? Would you leave me behind. I'm the one who knew you first, who gave you birth and quenched your thirst, imbued you with your sense of wonder, and tucked you in as you went under. Don't you cry, my handsome son. I'm just going back where I come from. Dry your eyes, my darling daughters. I'm just returning to the water. Gather family, all my friends, and pass around my favorite gin. Then scoop me up and pour me in, back in the water. If I could be water, a little more like water, if I could flow like water, I could get where I'm going. Thank you. All right, remember our Chuck Berry quote, rock and roll is a story you can dance to? I'll tell you a story. True story, the best kind. You can't make this shit up. Okay, so down our block, I have a neighbor named Chris, who is in the audience tonight. I'll introduce him at the end of the song. I'll force him to stand up and take a bow. So this really happened. Right next door to Chris is a house that we often refer to as the creepy house. It's a mansion. It's the biggest house anywhere in the neighborhood. And for years and years and years, it was occupied by a weird old cat lady. And she had, I'm talking not dozens, she probably had hundreds of cats living in that house. And at night, when you'd walk down the street, you'd see them all running around, and they're all, they're quite wild, right? They're no pussycats. They're like, and so, well, we'll let the singer tell the story, shall we? This is called The Ballad of Cat Catcher Chris. Well, you all know the story of dog catcher Dan. Drove around town in a panel van, looking real mean, snatching up puppies. Took them to the pound to get adopted by yuppies. But here's a little story that you might have missed. This is the tale of Cat Catcher Chris. He goes by the nickname CC, a regular guy like you and me. But by the light of the moon and the dark of night, he's a man on a mission to make things right. From the east to the west, all around the city, Chris is gonna rescue every little kitty. 'Cause they was wild in the streets, wild in the alleys, wild in the attic of your old Aunt Sally. Explosive growth, exponential, population not reached potential. He decided he'd stake his claim on a one-man cat cleanup campaign. In a pack of felines, scrawny and feral, lived a cat named Lucy and her husband Daryl. She said, "You can't tame and civilize me, 'cause we'd rather die than not live free." But Chris had a wild card up his cap, a can of tuna and a half a heart trap. Chris went down to the Whole Food store, bought the best tuna he could afford. And when he fed it to the cats on a silver platter, the cats complained. He said, "Now what's the matter? Is this fish line caught and sustainable, or is it full of chemicals strange and unnameable?" "Ah," Chrissy cried out, "what you want from me? I'm just trying to save you, can't you see?" But these weren't the cats you see on Pinterest. They didn't understand what was in their best interest. One by one, he drove them out of town, 45 trips to the Troutdale pound. And that's the story of Cat Catcher Chris, a real folk hero in a time like this. His legend grows with each passing year as people come to Portland from far and near. And if you think that he did this for money, he would just laugh and say, "Man, ha, that's pretty funny." Take a bow, stand up and take a bow. Cat Catcher Chris, in the flesh. You the man, you the man. Oh, quick story. We all know John Mellencamp. Did you know John Mellencamp was Johnny Cougar when he first started out? Because his manager says, "Listen, buddy, ain't nobody going to sign you on a record deal with a name like Mellencamp. So come up with some snappy name that everybody can get and remember." So I followed suit. I named myself after the family station wagon. That's a true story, a 1963 Dodge station wagon. So, and I went through John Dodge for a long time, and then the people who know me as John Silliman didn't know who John Dodge was. So I finally stuck all the names together, and that's perhaps more than you needed to know. But my name is Sha Murphy. I come from old County Antrim, hard up a hillside by the cold Irish Sea. Seventh son of Mary, just a plain and sturdy working girl. My da was Sha Murphy, just the same as me. One day he did tell me, "I've got nothing to give you. My name's the sole measure of your poor legacy." So it was I found myself on a ship bound for America, where fame and good fortune there awaited me. The first night at sea I spied a lass, made my heart break. With hair fiery auburn and her eyes deepest green. "There, Sha Murphy boy," said I, "is your lover for this brave new world. A beautiful mother for your family to be." We sailed our new love across the great rolling ocean, beaming with joy at what our future might be. Speeding much too quickly through the ice field south of Newfoundland, steaming through darkness toward our shared destiny. Last thing I remember before the cold took all our breath away. My name is Sha Murphy, would you remember me? There you go. Thank you.